Normally with SketchUp you'd do something called additive modeling, where you would generate a shape and then you'd generate a 3D form out of nothing, and you can like add more to that, or you can grow it like this I'm using with the push-pull tool, or you draw another shape and then you make that three-dimensional, and then you go, okay, I want another one of those over here, and you'd replicate it and do that. This is called like additive modeling, where you create new geometry, where you add new geometry. What I'm going to show you is a new technique called subtractive modeling. And to do that, you sort of need to have something to begin with, like a big volume like this, and then a shape that you want to cut out of that with. You can use just normal shapes. They have to be three-dimensional though. They can't just be a plane like this. They have to be three-dimensional, and they also have to be a group. So if you select your geometry and right-click and make it a group, then you can intersect it with other geometry like that. For example, if I put it right there in the middle, and because this is a component already, it'll work as well. But if it's intersecting with something that's not a component or a group, then it won't work. But if you have two groups and they're intersecting like this, what you do is you select your tool that you want to use to cut out of that volume first. So you select the tool first, and then you select your volume. You right click and go solid tools. This sort of menu here should show up. It will only show up if both of them are a group, and if nothing else is selected other than those two. It doesn't work with 3 or more selected things either. So just 2 kind of groups. And then you have the solid tools menu, and it should show these cool options. One of them is subtract. So if I click that, it actually removes that original shape, and it cuts out the shape from that volume as well. If I undo that and try it again, so select the tool and then the shape, right click, and we have also trim, which does the same thing, but it keeps our original shape. So you can use it again. It's really handy to be able to use it again. So if I want another one over here, for example, right click and go trim. So that works really well for like using the same shape to cut out multiple different things. And we can change the scale of this because it's a group. And I can go solid tools, trim again, and you'll see it's cut out that shape. Really cool. And you can start to sort of cut away and carve away shapes. Unfortunately, it doesn't work if you have multiple selected and then intersect it with that volume. I'll show you what it looks like. So if I click on all 3 things and right click, the solid tools menu will show up, but it only has these happening here. So we can intersect, but it will just kind of draw lines around where those 2 forms are intersected. But you can just select 2 at once and then go to subtract for that one. Right click and go trim. And there we go. So you can sort of see the potential of it right now. Instead of trying to sort of model this up like additively, it would be quite tricky to actually do that, to actually model it up, into those sort of shapes that you want. Because how is this even going to work? Something like that, and then maybe this is up a wee bit or something. It's a bit trickier to kind of do it. So you end up with some really kind of interesting forms that you can make, especially if you start using crazy shapes like this curve, for example. Like if I bring this over, the sphere rather. Bring that over. Let's have it going all the way through there, and I'll make it a bit bigger, so it intersects kind of this whole thing. Let's try this. So again, selecting my original kind of cutting tool shape and then the volume, right click, solid tools, and I'll go trim, and I'll just move that away so you can sort of see the shape that it's left. Very cool. You can start using this as a kind of sculpting tool. You can cut things out with it. We start trying to kind of scooping things out. face. Yeah, so you can get some really interesting things happening relatively quickly.